on Sunday, and the way he told us was we were all sitting around mine and got a text saying one person got a text not saying I'm back and okay. Um, he sent a text saying Young Justice has got a new trailer. Have you seen it? So yeah, that is the classic Dave Rose way
That's the
of
most.
letting people know that you're alive.
That's the most Dave Rose way of letting people know you're alive. I didn't even know
So
that had a
yeah,
trailer out.
a trailer or an announcement or
That was an
something,
it
but
was an
he
announcement, I
was
think.
he
Yeah, yeah.
was yeah. So
Forget I'm alive and survived the New Zealand earthquake or whatever.
mhm,
It's like, oh hey, Young Justice is there. It's
mhm. That's our fourth member for you.
the invisible fourth member.
I'd love to call him a shadow investor, but he doesn't invest in anything.
He doesn't have a shadow. So
Yeah, true. Hello and welcome to Abuse. Hi, I'm Ali Hay. Today is the 26th of November 2016, and I'm joined today by Mr. Mark Gibson. Hi, Mark.
hi.
How are you?
I'm all right. It's very very cold all of a sudden, and
It's winter arrived in the last week in Scotland.
yeah, like a brick to the face.
Yeah, yeah, it's not been getting a lot of temperatures above zero.
I think it's supposed to warm up towards the end of the week, but yeah, it's like
Well, you say
ridiculously
warm up,
frosty.
that'll be like 2, 3 degrees.
I think it's supposed to reach about 10, which is weird. It's like been up and down.
That is weird. Sorry for the Americans in the audience. Learn how proper temperatures work, and then you'll know
Yeah,
what we're talking about.
Celsius.
I don't know. I don't know Fahrenheit. See when they're like,
Is
"Oh,
it
it
not
was
like
wait, it's
is
what
it
double it and add 30,
something like that?
something like that." But then again, I don't know what 23 degrees Fahrenheit is because you can't really double that and add 30.
Okay. I have a calculator here.
I'm
It
so
didn't tell me
proud
how
of
to
you.
do it.
Uh,
So if I say 0 degrees Celsius, apparently is 32.
32.
So add 32 to whatever you're gonna.
No, but that doesn't work
Why?
because it's not an exact add 32 because
Oh no,
then
it's
that would
not. No,
because
because
that's
if I put in 10, there's 50.
yeah, exactly.
I don't. I don't
And
know how.
if
What?
you put in -5 degrees, it's not going to be.
23.
But that still doesn't work out to 32.
Nope, that's not right.
Yeah, because it's not like Kelvin where you just add on 200 or whatever.
That's what we should be using. We should just use Kelvin. Never, it'd be
No,
fine.
no, Celsius. Because do you know what? Do you know what the most common thing I use temperature for? It's water, 0 and 100. That's my
True.
baselines. It freezes at 0. It boils at 100. If I go outside and water's boiling, I know it's too hot.
You guys said water's boiling. Something's gone horribly wrong somewhere,
Oh
I
man.
think. Anyway,
It's
how's you?
I am not too bad. I was out last night. Not as bad as I was last week. I managed to survive this time. But no, it was I'm saying to you, race night, raising money for the local baseball team, the local baseball club, I should say. So that was fun.
How
Not a
much?
base
How much
night
did you
as you
lose?
thought.
How much did you
Oh,
lose?
so much money. I'm so bad at gambling. Really terrible at gambling. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm really good at it because my strategy is just don't gamble. That's
Yeah, but when it's a night of gambling to raise
yeah.
money that you'll benefit from, then and even like I like the reason I don't gamble a lot is because I'm really bad at it or unlucky. I don't think I pick bad, sports teams, horses, dogs, small children, whatever you're betting on. But I have terrible luck. I could bet on a sure thing and it would lose. Um, so yeah, I tend not to. I tend not to gamble. But yeah, one of the guys is from Texas. He won 3, 4 bets, and then on the raffle won 3 balls.
It's all right. That's a good night.
That's a good night. And then one of the guys there, his wife won a bottle of champagne signed by the League One winning Rangers team. She's from Houston.
Oh great.
So she doesn't give a shit. I explicitly said, I heard her say, I want to rip off this label and drink the bottle. So yeah, it was no, but it was a good night. Raised a lot of money.
But not a base night, no, a race night.
Not a base night, which
No.
you were trying to figure out in your head what that could be.
Yeah, I was like, what? Do
Everyone,
like the four bases and then you like bet on them or something?
yeah, you get to take them home. Get to name them. If they said we'll name a base after you, I totally would have bet on that. But no, it was good fun. But I've also been playing some games.
Yeah,
Well, some. I've been playing more Battlefield. Battlefield's still fun. There's still things they need to fix. It's
that's
not
every
being.
Battlefield game ever.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, compared to Battlefield 4, which was the last one I followed the launch of, it
Yeah,
has had a much easier launch, a much smoother launch
I think that's every
than
game in
that.
history though, bar No Man's Sky. But
But we'll get to that later.
yep.
But yeah, no, it still takes forever to quit out of a match that's ended, which is annoying. But mostly it's pretty solid. Uh, but the other the only other main thing I've been playing was I went back and finished the DLC for Sleeping Dogs.
Okay. What one?
So both.
The zombie one? Was that?
It's not a zombie one. I can't remember what the ghosts are called, but yeah, it's Chinese ghosts.
Yeah, they're
The
like
hot,
Chinese zombies. They hop. They hop. They have their arms out and they
but
hop.
they're not. But they're not zombies. They're ghosts.
Are they?
Yeah. They don't rise. They don't rise from the dead as a reanimated corpse. They appear from nowhere like a ghost. Don't know the difference. Um, but yeah, no, it's. I wanted to go back, so I'd platinumed the main game, and then it was still sitting in my hard drive, and I was like, I don't want to delete it yet. I want to at least finish it off. So I went back, and there's the two. It's Year of the Snake and that one, the Halloween one, Nightmare in North Point.
Yes,
Uh,
of course. Of course, there's.
North Point's the first main area you're in. But yeah, no, it's the first one's really well done. They add they add enough to like the gameplay. Adding new mechanics. You get a sword to beat up demons with, which is pretty fun. And it's well written. Like the main villain, and it's the right amount of menacing and dumb for
It's the
that game.
Bruce Lee ripoff, isn't it? With like you go to an island and
No,
fight,
no.
isn't
So
it?
that's another DLC,
All
which
right. Okay.
isn't. So when I say I went back and did the DLC, it was the two standalone, or not the two separate campaign ones
Okay. Right.
that because that one you're talking about is just built into the main game. There's no trophies for it. You can just go and do it,
Okay.
and that one is fun. That one's it's basically just fights, but you get dumb things like throw them into a grinder or a pit of spikes and stuff.
Goes
Environmental.
Mortal Kombat, basically.
Well, there's already stuff like that. In Sleeping Dogs, you can smash people into bathrooms or like telephone boxes. Like that's already there, so it's that, but on a crazy island with traps in it. And that one's good. They really go hard on the Bruce Lee stuff, and use that to good effect. But yeah, the Nightmare North Point, the enemies are fun to fight. It's like they mix things up in the gameplay really well as doing a decent enough story and like dialogue to keep you going. Uh, One of the main guys in that DLC, old Salty Crab, as he's known, who's a minor character in the actual game, like he gives you backstory on the demon who gets called Smiley Cat. And the
Okay.
reason he gets called Smiley Cat is because when he died, um, he was like a gang member, and they cut him up and ground him into cat food,
Yeah. Okay.
which is why his soul is restless. and he's really pissed off that everyone calls him Smelly Cat. Um, and then there's the second one, which is Year of the Snake. Uh, and that one started out really. I really enjoyed the start of that because Way gets put back on Beat Cop, so it's like this montage of him writing parking tickets and like giving directions to tourists and stuff, and being really annoyed about it. And then it's the actual like stories, like basically a cult doing terrorist acts around the city in the lead up to Chinese New Year, or
Okay.
New Year as they call it in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's like
uh,
nuts. Nuts in Brazil are called just nuts. Yep.
yep, yep. And yeah, there's um, I just didn't enjoy that one as much. Like it's got this nice strong opening, and then there's not really like one main villain to like focus around. And even like I mean there is, but they never really show them. They never really use them to any good effect. And it's just kind of these go here, do this missions without any real flavor to it. And without that, it's just a couple of extra missions where you go and punch people, and that's not
That's not a
like
bad thing necessarily.
it, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but when it is, and when it's a deal, and granted, you know what, obviously I paid for this as a whole product
Yep.
and then discounted. I'm not bothered about one DLC being better than the other, but it was just a wee bit different. I don't even feel it lives up to the main game. Like I don't feel they put enough into the story because the gameplay, like they don't add anything for Year of the Snake. It's just kind of your base gameplay, and without adding anything to the story, without making the dialogue good and witty, and it just kind of falls flat. I just felt like I was like in Nightmare North Point. I felt like I was like going through this story, whereas I actually felt like I was just going back to clear this up in Year of the Snake,
Right.
which was a bit disappointing. But overall, like that game's still top to bottom a fantastic product, and the HD version's really really good.
And
With
I
all
know
that
I know we
DLC.
don't have it in the news, but how are you feeling about all that Sleeping Dogs 2 stuff coming out of there? And
I'm
Square Enix are handling it really weird as well because
yeah.
do you know what the Games with Gold is for December?
It's Sleeping
It's
Dogs
Sleeping Dogs.
HD. Oh my god.
Like
That's
we'll close your company and then try and get as much money as we can from your product.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to do it. But it's just disappointing because I really enjoyed that game. It was so good, so well done, even at the time. And then for me to go back at this point where everything is just closing down as I'm going back and going, no, this is excellent. Everyone should. Oh, they're closed. Never mind.
They kind of
Um,
got the 1-2 punch with that on Games with Gold next month because Burnout Paradise is also
oh,
as well. You're like, well, they're making another one of those again.
I know.
So,
I'm still waiting for Need for Speed Burnout. I hope that becomes a product one day.
when was the last time they made a Need for Speed? Was it
Need for Speed
last?
Most Wanted. No, was it the first year these was it the Rivals? Was that the last one, or was one after that?
I'm not sure, but like it's been a while since a Need for Speed game, hasn't it? I
It
think
has. They said they were taking a break. They specifically said they were taking a break.
was it around the time of the
Um,
movie that they did the last one?
no, was it not that weird one where there's the cutscenes and the energy drinks and
Oh God, yeah,
yeah, I can't remember what the
yeah.
name of it was, but it was the
I think
weird
that's
like
Rivals. I think that totally
I
sounds
do
like.
I no I think that's just, I think that was the next one because Rivals was the first one on these consoles, and it was the one where it's like seamless multiplayer where you and that was the Rivals part of it. What's it called, Mark? Come on, do your googling quick.
I'm checking. I'm checking. Um, let's have a look.
You
Need
looking
for
at?
there was just a straight up Need for Speed in
Oh,
2015.
because that was to do with the Adam Paul movie. Because remember, the
Yep.
latest Need for Speed
Yep.
was the Adam Paul movie.
apparently there's a Need for Speed 2017 as a working title.
Yeah, because
So
they said they were taking a year off for it. I
okay,
like it. That shows how often you think that Need for Speed games come out that you're like, there's not been one in a while. There was one last year.
just like Assassin's Creed, there hasn't been one in a while on that, but
There was
bar
one
that,
this year.
well, bar that crappy remaster. That
I'm talking about Chronicles.
did the last one that one launch this year,
I'm sure the last one launched.
like January somewhere about there, I think.
Yeah, and then they released them as a set.
Yep.
Um, if if you see, this is advice for you, Mark, and the listeners. If you see Sleeping Dogs going for cheap, the HD collection pickup,
Or
it's
if you have
totally
an
worth it.
Xbox, wait till December.
Well,
Download
yeah,
that shit for
if you
free.
have if you have an
Yeah.
Xbox and a gold account, do that. Um, but yeah, I've been like it's the lead up to Christmas, so it's time to get the lists to Santa in terms of games.
Okay.
My birthday is a winter birthday as well,
Oh
so
God, yeah. So you've got the
I've got I've been trying to think, it's especially uh I decided to skip Black Friday sales in terms of buying a PC and wait until the New Year's sale, Christmas New Year's sales. So that's when.
wait for one sale 1 month and go to the next one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and
Totally. Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that'll be the time I pick up my. So I'm kind of trying to split my, like, what should I be getting on either side, and Dishonored 2 is really like I'm really wanting to maybe pick that up,
I
but
think
I
it's
also
the cheapest I've seen that is like 32.99. And
it's
also,
not
from what I've heard, I don't think you want the PC port right now in its current state.
no. So I would be getting
Yep.
that would probably be a console game, but the
Yep.
thing is, I kind of want to go back and play Dishonored. And while I have a copy of Dishonored, it'd be really nice just to be able to play it on my PS4. But the HD collection's still sitting around like 25 quid.
Even with
And
the Black
when
Friday stuff on,
I don't know, that is one thing I've not checked.
I
So
would check because on
um,
Xbox Marketplace right now, that game's really fucking cheap. It's like
yeah,
6 quid.
so
So
it was real cheap on when I bought Firewatch and Sleeping Dogs. And
yep.
the one I had a toss up in my head between Sleeping Dogs and Dishonored. But now that Dishonored 2's come out and it looks pretty damn good, I kind of want to go back and play Dishonored because it was weird. That was always a game that like I really really liked, and then I only played the first like 4 or 5 hours of, and then just trailed off of. Despite and every time I thought about going back to it, I was like, no, it's such a good game. I really enjoyed it. I should go and play it, and then never did.
Yep.
And that was kind of the same as Sleeping Dogs. That hopefully, if I spend more money on it, I'd go back and like at least put more time into it. Because that game's fun. And also, I think one of the reasons was I hampered myself with the don't kill anyone, don't get the bad ending, don't try and get this trophy while you're playing through it in your first time. And I think if I just went back and played it, just played it the way I wanted to play it, I would have I'd probably stick with it a lot better than I did last time.
Okay.
It's something I've been trying to kind of wean myself off of, is that mentality of like, I mean, the trophy and achievement mentality kind of dropped away significantly. Like I used to always be like, no, I need to get as many trophies or achievements in this as possible. And usually when I'm like, for example, on the Sleeping Dogs DLCs, I went and cleaned up the rest of the trophies in the DLCs as well as the main game,
Yep.
just to 100% the full thing. But that wasn't that much of a challenge. Like it wasn't like I had to go back and play 3/5 of the game just to get to this one point to go and do it. But I think if I just ignore, like I think if I just played Dishonored in just terms of just play it and enjoy it and do whatever you want
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
like because I found that with when I went back to Deus Ex was that like you start off with the mentality of like, right, okay, I don't want to be caught, I don't want to be seen, and I want to be as non-lethal as possible. So you literally take out everyone that you can possibly see just to, like, and put them to sleep. That kind of gradually petered off, where I was just like, I'm just gonna skip past this entire like a lot of guys, and that kind of um, transferred over to Mankind Divided as well, where there were just entire sections where I would just actively avoid combat and
Yeah,
stuff just to get through it. But yeah, no, I watched Therese play through Dishonored on PC, and that thing seemed to be like properly optimized as well. With the collector's edition, she got um, the definitive edition with it anyway. So we've always got that on Xbox One if we want it. But yeah, from what I've seen her play of Dishonored 2 so far, it looks like it looks like another Dishonored game, but it looks really nice. Seems to play a lot better. She's playing through as Emily at the moment because
yeah,
after the tutorial section, you have to choose whether or not you want to play as Emily or Corvo for the entire game.
yeah. So I've seen the intro, and it's a
Yep.
nice way they like. It's not like start new game. Right, who do you want to go? They kind of they build that into the opening really well.
But the,
Um,
the the way they telegraph that, it seems like the first playthrough they kind of want you to play through as Emily.
oh, really?
Yeah, because if you play through the tutorial, you are Emily, and then
Oh, yeah, you
the
Emily in the
entire intro
tutorial.
sequence is you being Emily in that first person view. And then as shit goes down, like it pans out, and you see both of them. You get to choose which one. I think they have like a varying degree of difference in their powers as well. So like I think
Yeah,
Corvo's got mostly like time mastery stuff, and then Emily's like more shadow based.
yeah,
Tries just got an ability where you can become like an ethereal shadow and like crawl on the ground and then like take out guys that way, or um, instead of blink, which you had in the first one, it's almost like a shadow grab type thing where like a tendril will come out and it will grab where you want to go and you'll just be like kind of launched over to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks neat. She's up
No,
to
I did.
the Clockwork Mansion, which is the level that everybody is raving about at the moment.
Oh,
But she
right.
has, but she hasn't actually got to the Clockwork Mansion in it yet because she's literally trying to collect everything.
See, that's like that. I won't. I probably won't stop on. Is like pulling out that heart and going, "Where is everything in
Yep.
this game?"
So,
Uh, just had a quick look. How much do you think Dishonored's Definitive Edition is on PS4 at the moment?
is it full price or reduced?
It is full price,
Oh wow. I would say 20 quid.
£29.99.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. I mean, like you'd think that with Dishonored 2 coming out, they would at least discount that to say, like, do you know what? See if you're not sure about picking up Dishonored 2, here's Definitive Edition for cheap. Go and enjoy that, and then come back and spend more money on us.
man. Even on Amazon, the retail version is currently 17.99.
Yeah. So when like considering I saw that game for like 12 quid, I'll probably be waiting off on a wee bit.
Man, the Dishonored 2 is like 8 quid more expensive.
Man, Life is Strange season pass is 4.99. Just
Try
looking
enjoyed
at
that.
the
It's supposed to be quite good. It looks
yeah,
it
no,
looks
I've
alright.
heard really good things. I'm just having a look at. Doesn't seem like there is discounts on the PSN Black Friday sale, but
So you've not picked up anything from the Black Friday stuff then?
no.
Oh man, I'm trying to get Therese to pick up Titanfall, seeing as that is like 20 quid right now in
So
HMV.
that's one that I've been kind of swithering over because I do really want to play it, but I don't know anyone else that's getting on PS4, and without that, I don't really want to pick it up. Like, granted, that campaign's meant to be really good,
Yep,
but that campaign will be there for a long time.
yep.
And in terms of the multiplayer, I'd end up playing it, playing a couple of matches, and going, "Yeah, this is really fun," but I'm not going to do this if I've got no one else like on with me.
That's kind of why I
Um,
want to get it like a cheaper price, is because
yeah,
like I might have that as well. I played a lot of the beta,
yeah,
and that was just me and
yeah,
like
yeah.
those.
That's just I played a chunk of the beta and really enjoyed it. I mean, you can get it. That's the thing. Skyrim, Battlefield, Titanfall 2, Watch Dogs are all discounted on the PSN store,
I
down
feel
to like.
I feel like that is Skyrim. I am not going to buy for consoles.
I've heard that console version is not great.
Yeah, but I think the
Kind of
PC version is just as bad. But
bunk.
I have a free version on Steam, so I am not
Oh
gonna
yeah, like
double dip on
yeah,
that.
you should. I mean, I was really looking forward to the remaster, and then I heard it was kind of janky.
It's
Um,
a Bethesda game.
but like PS3 Skyrim janky.
Oh God, okay.
Maybe not that bad, but I heard that it had pretty big problems. So you,
My
if
Black
I
Friday haul was pretty big. I got just from the Xbox store alone, I picked up the entire season of Hitman, which was reduced to like
so that's
20 quid.
how so it's 20. I can't get the full thing because I bought the first episode,
Right.
but
Okay.
for the upgrade it's 20 quid, and I'm forward to
Yep. I bought that. I bought the Metro
Metro
remastered.
Redux.
Yep, that was like 3-4 quid. I bought Wolfenstein. Again,
That
that was
game's
like
good. That
four
game's
quid.
good.
I got the Witcher Game of the Year edition for like 17-18 quid.
That's a good deal. That is a
Um,
like considering you get a Hearthstone.
yep, you get all the DLC with it.
No, but obviously, but I mean, in
Yep.
specifically, like,
Yeah. And what's the
that
new
is a
one?
really good deal.
Something
Oh,
Blood.
can't remember.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, can't remember.
yep. I got the entire Telltale Batman season pass. That was 12, I think. And what else did I get? I think I got something else on top of that. But I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, looking at the Sony stuff, I'm not exactly thrilled, to be honest. I don't think it's.
You
I
seen
don't think.
Microsoft are currently selling Gears of War for like 25,
Oh,
and it's on Amazon for 22.
seriously,
Yeah, and that's you get all the other Gears of War with that as well. Remember?
man, it's a good deal.
I was like, did I buy it? I wound up picking up a copy of Sleeping Dogs for Therese for Christmas as well. So
Yeah,
that was
Flippy
cheap.
dog.
I see
But
Sleeping
yeah,
Dogs.
no,
Oh no, Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 because we've already got
I
Sleeping
was
Dogs.
wondering that. I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm looking at the PSN store like sale, and it's like granted, there's like 20 quid, sometimes more off of fairly new games like Battlefield and that, but it's also prices that you could go and pay in Amazon. And in fact, if you paid them in Amazon right now, you'd probably be paying even less.
That's why
Like,
you got to shop around. That's why you got to shop
yeah,
around.
yeah, but it's just usually they do like things like Sleeping Dogs or like the small like Invisible Ink or Firewatch are going like for cheaper, but it's not a good haul at all.
Have you seen the? I know we're just going to Black Friday crazy here. Have you seen the PlayStation 4 deals that are currently going about?
No, it's
Oh man,
the
it's like a 500 gig PS4, like Uncharted 4, an extra game for like 190 quid.
that's
Like fuck. I had my cursor over the buy button, and I was like, no, I want a pro. So I'm gonna wait because like when I boil it down, there's only like a handful of games that I really want to play that are exclusive to that platform right now. So
Bloodborne.
hmm?
Bloodborne.
Your sound is gone. Oh, there
Oh
it goes. There it goes.
man. Oh, there we go. I was saying Bloodborne.
Yes, Bloodborne, Uncharted 4, and maybe some of the VR stuff as well. But obviously, that's another expense that you have to put on top of that.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's different. But in terms of just core PS4 games. So speaking of Bloodborne, how's Dark Souls going for you, Mark?
Haven't actually been back to it yet. I've not really had much time for playing games. As I say, I've been watching Trez play a lot of Dishonored 2.
Getting all your games mixed up.
Yeah, I know. But in the meantime of that, I've been kind of playing a bit more Wind Waker.
Yep.
So I've been kind of polishing off the side quests and that. I got all the map uncovered because the way it works in that is that you have to find the little fish guy who will
Okay.
paint your map for you, but you have to feed him bait. So I did all that, and I'm working through trying to get as many of the heart pieces that I can. Did some side quests. Did all the not outside island. What's it called? One of the main islands has like a bunch of side quests to do with the pictograph and like a bunch of auction stuff, and I got all that sorted and working through my treasure charts, because if you've got the Wii U tablet, you can see the map on your screen and the treasure chart. So it's a case of trying to find what treasure chart matches up with like one segment of the map, and then going finding that, and then trying to find a heart piece. But I'll probably finish that up this weekend because I've only got one temple left to do, and probably the last boss after that. Because I've been kind of collecting Triforce pieces as I've been going along, so won't have much left to do at the end of that. But no, like loving replaying Zelda. It's great to get back to
I'm
that.
not shocked.
I just know for a fact that if I play any other ones after this, it's going to like downwards in quality. So if I go play Skyward Sword again, I know for a fact it's not going to be as good as that. And if I play Twilight Princess, it's like one of the only Zelda games I've actively been turned away from.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting from an academic perspective, but maybe not from.
Is Wind Waker your favorite?
I still have really fond memories of Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of when that hit and the amount of time that I spent with that. But Wind Waker definitely is like a fantastic sequel to that. Like there's no doubt about it. I spent way too many hours and completed way too many times before, and that with the HD version it still holds up for
Oh
everything
yeah,
about it.
I can
So
imagine with the HD version and the changes they made to the, doing things like like reducing the amount of time you're aimlessly sailing about and stuff like that. That sounds like the version to play.
oh yeah, for definite. And they give you, but like just having the tablet there means that you don't have to go in and out of menus.
Oh yeah.
Um, so like it's reduced the time in that regards anyway. But yeah, like the way they tightened that up, they give you a lot more options. They've apparently changed some of the side quests as well, so that you're not like endlessly searching about for Triforce pieces, and it just feels like it did, but it's a lot tighter, but in ways
Mhm.
that you don't really notice that it's
It's
dramatically
like
changed.
kind of just a bit of a modernization of it.
Yeah,
It's getting rid of the holdovers of that era of not knowing where to go and just having to search for it, because at that time those problems hadn't really been figured out as well as they could have been.
yeah. So I'm finding like a bunch of like treasure charts that like give you like heart piece locations and like secret cave locations and stuff like that. And I can't remember if those were in the GameCube version.
Mm-hmm. You
Because
just have to go back and play Wind Waker.
yeah, I need to dig that out. But yeah, like loving that. I'll finish that off, and then see what comes after that. But yeah, I really want to get back to Dark Souls. I'll just need to go back to it when Therese is finished up and Dishonored. She has got uni stuff and deadlines coming up, so she won't be able to play as much of it. So I might use that opportunity to jump on and play some more. But I really want to finish Deus Ex as well. I've got that sitting
You
there.
two
So
really need to get side by side TVs.
yeah, it's on the agenda to get a 4K TV next year. So that one will probably move into the bedroom, if not the other side of the room. If we could just get
Side
stuff
by
like that.
side TV, side by side TVs.
Yep.
Get two TVs mounted on your wall. One has a PlayStation, one has an Xbox.
Well, there'll be multiple Xboxes in the house by that point, I would imagine. So
Well, buying two PS4s and you're all good.
yeah. But no, yeah, backwards, my backlog of stuff has dramatically increased over the last week. So got a whole bunch of stuff to play.
Yep. Oh, it's a good thing this is the quiet season where no games come out back.
Yeah, like, and I think like even next year you're seeing a lot of stuff getting delayed. The way I think Zelda's rumored to be like June 16th now. So
What have we got left this year? We've got Last Guardian, which,
it's out soon, isn't it? It's out like another month
well,
or
there's
so.
not a lot of the year left, so it has to be soon.
I've started seeing advertisements for Final Fantasy 15 out
So
there.
yeah, that's the other one that's I
That
don't know.
thing must be middling on reviews because the quotes I've seen them pull for all the advertising are
It's a game.
like game websites I've never heard of before.
Yeah. So that's one that I'm definitely waiting until reviews drop before I even consider picking it up. But it's at least on my radar. I mean, not that long ago, the last one I picked up it was 13, and I was bitterly disappointed. Obviously.
Everyone
Uh,
was, weren't they?
well, apparently once you got like 30 hours in, it opened up. Um,
No one should have to say that about any game.
what? No, just play 30 hours of it, and then you'll really enjoy it. That's when the real game starts. So I'm interested to I kind of want to see what 15 is like. Because the thing I like, one of the big things about Final Fantasy is it's not for everyone. Granted, it is a big series, but like
Is it still?
12,
Is it still?
it still has at least in the gaming world, it still has name recognition. It has enough name recognition that it can. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is doing really well. And if you're talking about the last Final Fantasy that got released, that's it. Actually, the last Final Fantasy that got released is World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like before that was like Theatre Rhythm, wasn't it? Or something like that.
I think there was a sequel to
Was there?
Theatre Rhythm 2.
Oh.
But Final Fantasy has not released a garbage product on my radar in a long time.
Except for Final Fantasy 13. Final
But
Fantasy 13 2.
my radar. Uh, but yeah, 13 I didn't enjoy, but it had its problems. But there were people that enjoyed that. Most of the reviews didn't say it was trash. They said it was really disappointing.
You think 15 could live up to the hype, considering it's been in
No,
production for
absolutely
like
not.
what, a decade?
Absolutely not. But do I think it could be a game that I might enjoy? Yeah. Like I think that it could come out and be a pretty good like they've messed around with the Final Fantasy thing and they've done this to it or they've done that. It's a game that I've not followed purposefully, but I do want to see what how it reviews when it comes out and what the opinions are and
Yeah,
get
that'd be interesting to
I'd
see.
rather get the information once it's out rather than before it's out. The hype train, the things I've seen of Road Trip and Giant Monsters, that'll do me. Like,
Have you seen the
apart.
Conan O'Brien section?
No,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
was it last week you were saying it's a bit
Yeah,
weird? Like
he
the
just trashed on that product, so it's a good one to check out. I think
yeah, but no, I mean, when is that out?
soon. I think
Yeah,
like next like Friday. I want to say.
maybe. God knows.
Let's see. It says it is out on the November 29th, so Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday. That makes sense. Are you picking it up, Mark?
I'll give you two guesses.
Yes.
Wrong guess.
Yes. Therese not a Final Fantasy fan?
Nope.
Is that why you picked her?
Yeah, there's a reason I'm marrying her. It's not.
Went down on one knee. I have one question to ask you. I have two questions to ask you. One, do you like Final Fantasy? No? Cool. I can proceed with my second question. But yeah, is that you? You've just been
Yeah, not much. Apart from that, just like playing a little bit of Animal Crossing here and there in the commute. Still ebbing away at that.
on this.
Yep.
I don't have that document handy. So let's move on to the news, Mark, and you can start as well. I find this.
Should we talk about Hello Games?
Yeah, I think we should. That's probably the biggest one this week.
Well, it's the most recent, but
That's yeah.
yeah. For so, how long has it been? Like 90 days since the game came out, roughly. Probably more than that. Like in the 90s.
Um, August it came out.
somewhere about there, like September, August. So Hello Games has broken its silence.
9th of August.
Wow.
Oh, we're in November, so almost 4 months. Almost 4 months.
Okay. So they've broken their silence. They said they listened to feedback on both sides, both positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been working on a patch for the game, beginning with regular updates. They're calling this patch the Foundation update because this would allow construction elements on planets. Uh, so we'll see how that shapes out, and also see how many people are actually interested in going back to that game. You, yeah?
Yeah, I'm interested to see this patch. I'm interested to see what they do with the game after they fucked up so monumentously.
So I'm of a similar opinion, but a little bit more pessimistic.
Yeah. Also,
I want to see what they
you
do
don't
when
own the
they're
game.
yeah, but I want to buy the game when they are finished
Yeah,
updating it.
you want to play No Man's Sky, not No Man's Sky. They've just not finished writing the
No,
letters down.
no vowels, and
No bells are allowed.
yeah, like so. I want to see what that game will eventually be, rather than what they are trying to make it kind of. Because this update will just kind of like put a band-aid on things, I would imagine.
See, Mark, that's the thing. When you get into an early access game like this, you have to understand that it's a process. You pay your full price, and then they up the months of radio. That's the thing. See, if this was an early access game on Steam and there was 4 months with zero contact, people would be like, there would be calls for. Granted, there's been calls for investigations anyway.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, I don't think the fervor would have been as bad because you would have the game on early access at a lower price. It would have that tag on it anyway that it was early access. And so even if there was just a simple statement saying, "Yeah, we're just working on the game, we're going to radio silence for a while," because developers have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter Molyneux.
Oh, Prison Architect did that for like the space of about 6 months, I think.
They just said we're going to go and work on it big time,
Yeah,
big
you know,
styles.
they came out and they said that here's like the next update, and it's all bug fixes. Like, if they had done that, it's the fact that Sony got behind it, published the game, and then like shit just went south, and then Sony decided to throw them on under the bus as well, which is even more hilarious. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how many people actually still have it and are still willing to go
Oh
back.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's sitting there. Actually, I think someone else has it, but I will get that back off them and try it back out. And think I need to reinstall it on my hard drive. um, so yeah, I've not delved into what they're actually doing. The actual changes, there's the grand statements of we're improving things, but they do have the patch notes out, so I've not had a chance to like dig through them yet. Seems a pretty extensive
Yeah, I think the majority of it is the base
patch.
building stuff. Like, they're gonna go kind of Minecraft-esque with it. So
I know, but that worries me even more because like when you say it's a universe of you know trillions of
disappointment.
planets, that's this universe.
Yeah.
Uh, when it's a universe of trillions of planets, and you're telling me I can base build, that's not really what I'm wanting.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how they exactly did they make like a warp point that just takes you back or
Yeah, like,
something, or like
and what is the purpose of that? Can I hold more things there? Like, or is it just like, well,
people
I
wanted it,
have
so
a
we're putting it in.
I have a home now. Like, I need something like base building doesn't do it for me unless there's purpose to it.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't understand if people were building like a starship or something like that you could take places, but the idea of like settling on a planet when your goal of the entire game is to get as far away from that planet as humanly possible.
yeah,
kind of doesn't make any sense. But
Um, I mean, actually looking at the log, it is not as long as I thought it would be.
no, it won't be because this is the Foundation update. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't imagine this will be before the start of the new year. You got to
They,
imagine
fi-
they're aiming for like
they
new.
fixed the most important thing, which was the minor fix for saves of a duration less than 2 minutes, displaying as 1 minute.
Yeah,
4 months silent, and
yep.
that's.
Here's what we've done. Didn't one of the lead designers from that No Man's Sky go on to work on Star Citizen or something? Didn't that happen quietly in the background? I don't know.
That's hard.
Yeah. Hey Ali, how do you like Brexit?
That's why I was so looking forward to No Man's Sky.
How do you like Brexit in your video games?
As much as I like, let's say, football hooliganism.
All right. Well, your football hooligans are all up in arms over their football manager having Brexit in it,
Oh, everything's falling apart, Mark.
despite the fact they probably voted for it. They can't stand the fact that their players are more expensive and people don't have work permits because they haven't played any games.
It's the import cost now of getting. So this is the Football Manager 2017. Is that
Yep.
an update or
No, this is what
when
they built into the game because
yeah? Because it's not as out yet. No, it'll be coming
I
out.
think it's just out. I want to say because people
Uh,
are up in arms about it already.
Football season's just starting, so
Yeah.
I
Um,
think.
is
But
it?
yeah,
I think it
I
started
mean, I
a
don't
long
know.
time ago.
I don't
But
know.
yeah. So people have been posting screenshots on forums of like players having their visas rejected and stuff, and the price of players going up because they're from Europe. Um, yeah, you know,
Well,
art
one
imitate. Was it art
art
imitates
imitates
real
life.
life?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah.
I just thought it was hilarious, and
It's
also,
it's a realistic football manager simulator. Like, what do you expect? This is what real football managers are going to have to deal with now that you have ruined their jobs.
it was I'm fairly sure I saw a comment on Twitter somewhere where like somebody who had voted for it was like, can't they just repeal it in the game and we don't have to deal with it? It's just like, well,
No, because I can't get it repealed in
yep.
real life. Yeah. So yeah, every football manager player will experience Brexit at some point within a decade of the game starting. An email drops in your inbox informing you that the British government has smacked the big red Article 50 button. Yeah, yeah. And then within 2 years of that, you're told negotiations have resolved in one of three ways. Uh,
But
and it's soft and given a hard Brexit.
have you seen the email that I put it in the document? But
No, I didn't look at that.
let me read the actual email from like from one guy's
Do you mean
PA.
from Amelia Thomas, personal assistant?
Yes. The line saying Scotland has decided after a referendum to remain in the European Union
Yep,
and leave Great Britain.
yep.
Yeah.
Which, good on them for putting that in.
So, isn't that thing made in Scotland? I want to say.
Football manager, I'm not sure about that.
I think that's hilarious, and it's
But yeah, I mean, it's a short email. It says that as it announced that England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Gibraltar will be leaving the European Union at the end of the season. Scotland have decided after a referendum to remain within the European Union and leave Great Britain. From next season, players from the European Union will need to apply for work permits to play in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Gibraltar. European Union players already playing in these nations will be given a special status to allow them to be treated as non-foreign and will not require any work permit. Wow.
it got too real for people, Ali. It got too real.
Wow. Yeah. See when Brexit starts affecting my video games, my
Yep.
fake football.
So it's been made by Sports Interactive, and they are based in Middlesex, so they're actually making it in England. So yeah, should be.
Um, Capcom plans on supporting Street Fighter V until 2020.
I can't see this happening.
What? What?
Well,
What?
don't get me wrong. The dripping pipeline of content that keeps happening.
I can see them supporting it until 2020.
Oh yeah,
First you get
supporting.
Super. First you get Super Street Fighter V. Then you get Super Street Fighter V Ultra.
Didn't they say they were stepping away from that and just trying to make it like the one thing?
Yeah. Then they released half a game, and everyone got kind of mad at them. So they might revamp that a little bit. But
I can't see them catering to the Pro Tour next time around. I think it's
see,
probably one of the worst decisions they've ever made.
do you think if they'd released Street Fighter V the same way Killer Instinct's been done, it would have been more successful?
Possibly. I'm not entirely sure what the actual sales of Killer Instinct were. I'm assuming they must be good because it's made it to 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Like this one, it seems like Killer Instinct's been not as a fighting game, whatever it stands on its own merit, but as a product, it seems to be doing pretty well. Like, you don't get to your third season of a free to play game like that on a console without at least selling some.
And
Um,
that's things had struggles in its back end as well because you've had handovers to developers because it went to Iron Galaxy at one point,
I
and
think it's
they did
not.
they did a good job with that. So like
Yeah,
they've kept content going, they kept new characters, they've added new modes. I can't remember if they've added the story mode yet, but they did say it was coming at some point.
but yeah, they've done a lot to that game, and then you look at the way Street Fighter V was released.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Aren't they saying that Akuma's the next character to come out for that thing? Isn't that what they were saying?
No, he's the next character in Tekken.
No, he's in the game in Tekken.
No, I
He's
know
not
that.
even that's
When's
the entire.
Tekken 7?
I'm assuming next year.
You're just gonna say next year.
Yeah.
Safe bet.
Fairly sure I would have
Well,
heard about it if it
I'm
was
going
like.
to say it's getting delayed till 2018. I'm doubling down on sure bets.
I think that thing's nearly done. I mean, they've been showing it
I'm
in
going to say
Japan.
it gets delayed till 2018. There's only one game I want to come out, and that's Persona 5. And
So Tekken 7's initial release date was March 18th, 2015.
what? The worst part about that is I don't think I knew about Tekken 7 until this year.
What? Google, I think you were wrong.
Sorry?
Oh, it had a limited arcade release in March 2015.
Oh yeah, that game's out.
Yeah, I do.
That game's been out for ages in Japan.
Yep.
Oh, it shows how much I care about Tekken in these days. I think Tekken 4 was the last one I played.
So yeah, it comes to Xbox One and other platforms in early 2017. There you go.
You gonna pick up Tekken?
I don't know.
I mean,
I have
you
Dead or
like
Alive sitting there that I haven't even started yet. So
yeah, exactly. Play a bear game. Um, yeah. So 20. You don't see it last until 2020 then?
I can't. There's no way. There's
What?
the user base just can't be there for that thing. Surely everything that's happened to it. I think it'll be on a lot of people's list because that came out this year, didn't it?
Strip? No. Did it? Oh.
I can expect that to be on a lot of people's lists of most disappointing game of the year. Well, unless I can't see it winning based on No Man's Sky's stuff, but
Yeah, that came out this year. Came out in February.
yep. And then they were supposed to have everything sorted by April, and then they missed the patch date, and then they missed the June patch date, and then yep.
It's just a mess.
Uh,
Remember, like when Assassin's Creed was going through that, or Ubisoft was going through that phase of releasing broken games, and people were really angry, and people were like, companies should step in and say, no, don't release broken games anymore. And then Street Fighter Five came out, and it was a heap.
yep, and has continued to be a heap.
Yep.
Yeah. So
The worst part about that is I've heard that the actual game, like the actual fighting in it, is
yeah, the actual base game's
great.
great.
It
Yeah.
is so good if you like Street Fighter, and then it's pointless because no one wants to play the crap that's around it.
Yeah, it's like a gold nugget encased in a turd.
Um, so Dead Rising 4's marketing campaign is not going
No.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
N
So
N N N N N G G G G G H H H H.
do you wanna spell that out for me? Just
Nah,
say that for me.
nah. I think is the actual pronunciation of that. But
Is what
yeah.
I think they were going for. So yeah, Microsoft recently sent out a promotional email about Dead Rising 4. Um, they were trying to they're trying to evoke a zombie's groan in the email title, and the problem with groans is they don't spell out very well, especially
No.
when you spell them out pretty close to a probably the
The
biggest
worst racial
slur,
slur.
the
Yeah.
the slur. Um, so yeah, it came out sounding like the N word, which obviously upset some people. Um, so Major Nelson said, they promised to do better next time, which is
Whoops.
yeah. I mean, it's not a huge piece of news, but it's an oversight that probably should have been on a Microsoft developed game. It probably should have had at least one more set of eyes look over it and say, nah, change that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, having worked in like a big multinational corporation, like this is probably done from a separate department who has no
Oh no,
communication with the other ones.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
I bet when the developers
Still,
saw that, they were like, "Oh fuck," because I would be.
mm-hmm.
But it's in an email, and you can't take it back once you've sent the email. So
To all your entire user base.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that it was just dumb. It was a really dumb
once once you
mistake.
once you tag everyone in an NHS email, you will email everybody in the NHS.
What was it, 2.2 million the final count?
Something like that, something ridiculous.
Yeah, which is a pretty large chunk of the NHS.
And then everyone
Uh,
replying on to reply all in the end of that as well. Yeah, that's not. But whatever. That didn't have a racial slur in it.
I bet by the end it did.
Oh yeah.
When when there's an email chain that contains 2.2 million people, I'm pretty sure there's at least one racial slur in there. Watch Dogs 2 launch sales were nowhere near Watch Dogs 1.
And how? Jesus Christ.
So I'm not shocked by this. It's a bit disappointing considering Watch Dogs 2 is meant to be significantly better than Watch Dogs 1. But the thing was, with Watch Dogs 1, you had huge pre-release hype. Huge pre-release hype. No one had any expectation. No one had any firm basis to expect anything off of.
Yeah.
It was all based off of trailers and press conferences, and Watch Dogs 1 sold it very, very well for a game that was not good.
So in its first week in the UK, Watch Dogs 1 sold 380,000 units.
Yep. pretty good.
Watch Dogs 2 sold 80,000 units.
Again, it's disappointing, but I'm not surprised. When you release a shit show of a game that was Watch Dogs, and then a sequel to it, like you're gonna have people that will just not buy it because I was burned once.
It's almost like the if Hello Games were to release No Man's Sky 2,
Yeah,
like
it's
like
what I've
yeah.
said. We've talked about that before. That when Hello Games goes to release their next product, there's going to be a lot of people that receive that with a lot of skepticism.
You
A
know the
lot.
fool me once thing,
Yep, film me one.
full
Yep.
effect. Yep.
And yeah, it is a shame because if granted I've not played Watch Dogs 2, but I have heard good things about it. I've heard it's fun, and that was severely lacking in Watch Dogs 1. And obviously it takes it's the old adage of it takes a lot of talented people to make even a bad game.
Yeah.
But it's we're going for a lot of idioms today. Ubisoft's chickens have come home to roost. Yeah, like they laid their bed and now they have to lie. But no,
So,
it's
so Ubisoft came out and with a statement to Eurogamer and said that they were in it for the long haul and they expect the lifetime sales of the product to be higher. And like maybe people were holding off for Black Friday. Maybe there's just an oversaturation of games at this time of
yeah,
year.
especially you've got Christmas coming up as well. Those sales might pick up towards then for
And
people buying.
I bought one. I just bought one that is on its way. So maybe I'm not in the only boat for that one.
This is where Mark realizes his huge mistake and he's ordered Watch Dogs 1.
That would be hilarious. That would actually be hilarious.
If you spent $54.99 with a copy of Watch Dogs 1.
I've already done that. I bought my copy digitally for the first one when it launched.
I
So
know. I bought
yeah,
it for 12 quid, like
I fucking bought it full
like
price. I
a
was like,
month after release. It was in CEX for like 12 quid. And I was like, yeah, that's the price I'll pay for this game to see what it's like.
I was in
I get, I,
Japan.
I get
I
to the
didn't have
same
access
point.
to games. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, if I buy it from fucking PlayAsia, it'll take about 3 months to arrive. Oh,
Yeah, I've got to the same point in that game twice, and it's the point where they start introducing the random bullshit of people jumping into your game,
yep, yep,
and I really hated
yeah,
that. Like, really hated that. Because up until that point, I was like, this is a
it's
solid
competent.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's competent. Like, I want to see where it goes. I hate the main character, but the hacking stuff's pretty fun. Like, whatever. And then you get to that fucking pain in the arse section that you can't. You're in the middle of a mission or fake mission or whatever, and then it's like, oh, someone's coming to get you. Standing in a corner waiting to die because I just couldn't be like I don't like even in Dark Souls, the Souls games. I don't like that like forced multiplayer.
yeah.
Uh,
Do you turn it off? Do you play it offline then, or are you?
with the Souls games, it tends to work out not too bad because of when I play that game or how I play that game. That it doesn't really affect me as much, and it's even in Dark Souls, or the Souls games, it's more tactfully done.
Yeah,
Whereas this is it was just irritating. It was intrusive in a way that affected my experience with the game in a very severe way, to the point where I turned it off twice. Like,
and isn't it the case that you have to find the guy who's hacking you and they're hiding or something?
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
it's like at least with Dark Souls, it's a case of you see the
It's
guy coming
Yep,
toward you to
it's
kill
the
you.
big fucking red guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was so it was
remember those original E3 trailers
for Watch
for
Dogs.
Watch Dogs? How good that game looked,
Fucking looks so good.
and then they
Remember those
completely.
original E3 trailers for No Man's Sky?
Yep, yep.
That game
Jurassic
looks so
Park.
good.
Jurassic Park.
Do you mean Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. So what's your plan for the next week, Mark?
so I got in trouble from Therese for suggesting that I should put the Christmas tree up today. But because Thanksgiving's over, Christmas is upon us.
So how was your Thanksgiving?
I I worked. I had deadlines and stuff to meet. But yeah,
You're also not. You're saying this like you would
I
normally
know.
celebrate Thanksgiving.
But no, I'm gonna try and get some more games in this week.
Good.
I I've seen a trailer for a Korean movie called The Wailing, so I'm gonna see if anyone else is gonna show that because the cinema hall
Oh,
near us
I went to
isn't.
see Doctor Strange.
How is that?
That movie is good.
Okay,
It's I
D tier.
it's better than Thor Dark World. No, wait, that's the second one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's better than Thor 2. The so the first
better than
kind of
Iron Man
like
2.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's like I'd even go as far as maybe say A minus.
Okay.
Like I mean I genuinely enjoy most, if not all, of the Marvel movies. I am shocked that they have managed to keep this up as well as
Did
they
they stick
have.
to the very like stringent origin format? Is that what happens here?
It's pretty origin story, but the thing is, like this is it's not Spider-Man, it's not Batman, it's an origin story that you need. It
Okay.
really really is, and they do it well. They do the origin story well. It took I think the first like 20 minutes maybe a wee bit more or a bit choppy, and I think that's especially coming from like the most magic you've had is really Thor,
Yeah.
and going full scale magic is a little bit jarring in a Marvel movie because I was sitting looking at it going like, well, this is just going to turn into DC. Like this is just ruins everything because it's magic. Magic can do anything, and that
Yeah.
creates problems in storytelling because then you have a get out clause for everything.
Don't they have a get out clause for everything anyway?
Yes, but that's not the point I'm making. But yeah, no, it's done pretty well. The castings good. I was surprised that Benedict Cumberbatch manages to pull it off so well. A couple of the fight scenes kind of have Transformers syndrome about it. It's too many real close cuts
Okay.
and like sparks flying everywhere that you're not really sure what's going on. But no, they it's as a spectacle, it looks really nice. It's funny. It manages to do that well. Though it doesn't have the same kind of like your beginning, middle, end story beats. It kind of hits one point and then goes until the end of the movie, and
Okay.
that was kind of a like that felt kind of weird because it's literally just like you've got your hard points and it all builds up to this end. It was just one thing happens in the movie and it's basically one continuous not one continuous scene but one continuous plot line.
Okay.
Like it's like a few hours of the story that it happens from like maybe halfway through the movie to the end, and I was like, that's just the way it was structured was a wee bit jarring. But no, it's a good origin story. I saw it sitting on like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, that's a bit high. But no, I did enjoy it. Um, I mean, you've got Guardians 2, Spider Man, and Thor next year.
Spider-Man next year.
Yeah, Spider Man's next year. Um,
When's the first Avengers one? Is that not next year as well?
year after.
Okay. Right.
So it's Black Panther, something else in Avengers the year after.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, they tie him into the series at least in one respect to show it going forward. Because again, that was one of the things of like it seems so separated from the rest of the Marvel universe. Like, despite the fact it takes place in New York, there is no mention of the Avengers stuff.
Really?
Like, of as far as I'm aware, like not of the Avengers. I think they do discuss the outer world, but there's no like the incident or whatever it was called.
Yeah, in the cage where they were just like, "Yep, incident.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about the
yeah,
Avengers."
you know,
Yeah.
in Daredevil, it's on a newspaper and stuff. There's no real mention of this big, huge tragedy took place in New York City, despite the fact he's from there. But it does take place over I think a couple years. The story,
Okay.
yeah,
Maybe it's set before then. I don't know.
yeah. So it ends up to date with the rest of the universe.
Okay.
It's basically, I think, from a couple years, maybe like 2 years before to now
Right.
in the Marvel universe. But yeah, if you're still into the Marvel stuff, go watch it. It's good.
Yeah, I need to do some catching up on superhero stuff. I'm way behind.
I
Got
didn't
that to
watch Ant
watch.
Man.
I've seen Ant-Man. It was all
No,
right.
I'm saying I need to see Ant Man.
All right. Yeah, yeah. It's
I
okay.
think Ant Man's the only movie I've not seen.
It's okay. It's it's okay for
Yeah,
a watch through.
I've heard it's a pretty fun heist movie.
I still have to
And
see the two X-Men movies. I still have to see Deadpool, which is on Sky Cinema Boxing Day. Um,
Netflix
yeah,
stuff.
I've only got the Jessica Jones stuff to watch.
You watched
Um,
all of Luke Cage?
oh yeah, like I binged that over the course of the
See,
weekend.
I don't know how you can do it because I did like Daredevil season one. What was it? Jessica Jones, Daredevil season two, Luke Cage.
Yep.
In that order because that's the order one it came out in, and two that the story goes.
Okay.
Like I couldn't watch Jessica Jones without watching Luke Cage first because there are things, but at least looking back for me, because there are things in each of the series, like because they all do link together,
Yeah.
that there would be things in Luke Cage that you would have been like, what?
I
What?
felt like I didn't miss anything in Luke Cage,
The Claire Temple stuff,
but it was explained.
especially
It was
her.
explained there and there, which is like,
Yeah, true, true. It's granted it's a throwaway line,
yeah,
but that is stuff that takes place in Jessica Jones,
yeah.
and that's like I felt that it really benefits from having a through line. And it's when I hear people being like, "Yeah, I watched Daredevil season one, and I've seen Luke Cage, but I might go back and watch Daredevil season two and Jessica Jones." And I'm like, I couldn't watch them all separately. Luke Cage is so good. Those last few episodes are a wee bit much, but
I really enjoyed it. I thought that was great. But
I,
you should watch The
I
Wire. You should really go and watch The Wire. The Wire is the best show, and you should
see
really
when
go
they
watch
put it
it.
on Netflix, I will go watch it.
Well, what HBO shows are on Netflix?
None.
Exactly.
Well, I'm
So
just saying. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Sorry. The other thing I've been watching is Atlanta.
yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
That's great. That is like uh, maybe my favorite new TV show. Not my new favorite, my favorite new.
New TV show. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I don't
the
think I
drama.
have any new TV shows on. I'm still watching Bob's Burgers and like I need. I'm gonna catch up with Archer soon.
Atlanta's been on Sky, so
Yeah.
have a wee look and see if you can check that out. It's a good watch. Um, but yeah, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that one in there. I wasn't sure
Okay.
if you'd seen it yet, so
No, not yet. I'll need to check it out before it disappears.
yeah, it's our theater was relatively empty because it has been out for quite a wee while now.
Yeah.
But
And Star
I
Wars is out in like what, a month, less than a month.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like eight. No, it's not.
Apparently, that movie opens without a crawl.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see only the main series ones opening with a crawl and the Clone Wars. But no, like I don't like going to the cinema anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of in
Uh,
the same boat.
like
Yeah.
especially for horror movies.
Yeah.
Cinema audiences ruin horror movies more than they ruin anything else.
Cinema
Um,
audiences kind of run everything. So.
yeah, so I like if it's an empty theater, that's the best situation for me. But no, I just prefer to watch things in my house.
I
Like,
think one of I think we'll finish up here in a second, but like I think one of the worst memories I have of that is just how fucking ignorant people are, like in terms of like how stupid they are. Like, was it what was the Bond movie where it turned into Home Alone at the end?
Skyfall.
Skyfall. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that movie was a piece of shit.
which is
So
really funny because you're the only one that says that. You're
I
the
can't
only one that hates Skyfall.
I can't stand. Do you remember the scene in the train where he gets sniped and then falls off the train?
Yeah,
Yeah, like somebody in the audience actually fucking gasped like he was killed. I was like, it's a fucking James Bond movie. It's right at the start. He doesn't die at any of them. It's not. Oh,
this is good. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was me that I went to see Lord of the Rings, and we've talked about this years ago in the podcast. I went to see Lord of the Rings, and it's the bit where he's going into the spider cave,
yeah.
and a woman in the audience started screaming, "No, Frodo, no!" And I lost it, both with laughter and anger.
Oh, fucking people, man.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
that I do prefer to just watch things in my own. TVs are big enough now.
And it's way cheaper.
Yeah, it's
It's way
way
cheaper
cheap.
than a fucking trip to cinema.
It's so expensive to go to the cinema. The only reason I go to the cinema now is because two of my friends have unlimited cards and
Yeah.
enough of my friends have Meerkat,
Yep.
like the Meerkat movies.
So I don't have any of that. So I have to pay
Yeah.
like cinema prices, and then uh, if you go with a significant other, they will be like, "Oh well, maybe we should get a pick and mix and some popcorn and some."
No,
And
that's if you're taking a girl out on a date, Mark. When it's someone you live with, you go,
that's not
no,
that's
we
not how it
take stuff
works.
from home.
Trust me, that's not how it works.
Oh,
And then
no.
like 30 quid in the hole to go see a shitty fucking horror
No.
movie.
Do you know how much I paid? £5, and that
Yep,
includes my ticket and going over to the shop across the road
yep.
and buying stuff to take in.
The way it used to be, like when I had my unlimited card, that was the easiest thing to do. Yeah, don't have that
Yeah,
anymore.
we had enough discount tickets that ended up around £3 per person to go and see a movie. That is the correct price I would pay to go and see a movie. Right, I'm
Uh,
going to wrap this up. Mark, where can people find us?
They can email us at headsetabuse@hotmail.co.uk. They can check us out at facebook.com/headsetabuse. We're on Twitter at headsetabuse.
Yes, we
And
are.
our Libsyn page for the audio version of this is headsetabuse.libsyn.com.
You got it right this week.
Yep, I learned.
Yeah, you definitely did. Thanks for joining me, Mark.
No worries.
I'm gonna go eat and then. So I might pull the trigger and just play Dishonored this week because I do really I've got the itch and I don't want
Yep.
that to go away. But it also means pulling out all my 360 games because they are in a cupboard.
Okay, right.
I also have 2 bags full of PS1 and PS2 games sitting on my floor, so I probably need to go through them.
Yeah, maybe. That might be.
Yeah, there's a copy of Small Soldiers lying on the floor.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, so I really enjoyed that game when I was younger, and I want to play it with someone. So I
Cool.
might recruit you for that.
Oh, God. Okay.
But that is tale for another time. Mark, thanks for joining me.
No worries.
We might have a Darren next week.
We might have a Dave. What is Dave doing? Is he?
Oh God, yeah, I'll get in touch with him. He's only here for a few weeks and then he's off to New York because, of course, he is.
Of course he is. Why not? Yeah.
No, I think Darren said he'd probably be until New Year. Not until New Year that we
Yeah,
would.
unless we can change it up. I think he's back in December-ish, and he's back in Glasgow. So we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully we'll see him soon. Maybe even for a pod bomb.
Yep.
And we will definitely be back next week with another episode of It's Abuse. Bye.